After an incredible start to the bubble in which he has averaged an MVP-esque 30.3 points, 6 assists, and 3.8 rebounds per game, while also leading the Phoenix Suns to a shocking 6-0 record, Devin Booker has understandably and justifiably become the talk of the bubble. Suddenly, the Suns and Booker are on everyone's radar, and I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was personally rooting for them to reach the playoffs at this point. However, while this success has brought some extreme positivity towards the Phoenix Suns organization, it has also brought up a movement that has been brewing for a few seasons. And of course, that movement is
get my man out of Phoenix. It's not good for him, it's not good for his career. I need my man to go somewhere where he can play great basketball all the time and win, because he's that type of player.
Are you tampering?
Maybe.
But the thing is, what nobody seems to be talking about is that right now, Devin Booker does not have it that bad. So what's up guys, Mike here, and I would say, in fact, based on the recent moves the Suns have made, Devin Booker is actually in a pretty good situation for a young potential superstar such as himself. I mean, let's take a step back right now and take into consideration that Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, the number 1 and number 2 picks in Devin Booker's draft, both have only made the playoffs once in their careers and currently are on a team that won just 19 games this season. This immediately makes Devin Booker's situation look a whole lot better, and when we take a deep dive into the Suns roster, things only become more promising. However, before we get into that, I do want to point out all of the mistakes the Suns have made in the Devin Booker era that have led us to the point where people think he is ruining his career by staying there. So we're starting off here with the 13th pick in the 2015 draft, where the Suns did land an absolute steal in Devin Booker. After that though, until the 2018 draft, they basically made the wrong move in every single possible situation. Starting off their string of wrong moves, we have February of the 2016 season. It is here where the Suns trade Markieff Morris, a man who just averaged 15 points and 5 rebounds a game and started every game for the Suns, for DeJuan Blair, who they waived, Chris Humphries, who they waived, and a first-round pick, which we'll get back to right now. Because in the 2016 draft, the Suns used their own pick to draft Dragan Bender number 4 overall. In his 3 years with the team, Bender would never average more than 6.5 points per game, and he was drafted ahead of both Buddy Hield and Jamal Murray. Yikes. The Suns then traded away the 13th pick, which they had just gotten in the Markieff Morris trade, the number 28 pick, and Bogdan Bogdanovic, a player who has thrived in Sacramento, for the chance to draft Marquise Chris at number 8, 3 spots ahead of future NBA All-Star Domantas Sabonis. Chris would play just 2 seasons for the Suns and was also a complete bust. Moving on, in February of 2017, the Suns trade away a valuable veteran in PJ Tucker for yet another player who will be waived. Then, in the 2017 draft, they take Josh Jackson, another player who is no longer on their team, ahead of players such as Donovan Mitchell, Lauri Markkanen, Bam, and John Collins. Now finally, finishing up, going into the 2018 season, just a few games in, Eric Bledsoe posted his infamous "I don't want to be here" tweet and was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks shortly afterward for Greg Monroe, who was waived by the team. The Suns also got the Bucks' 2020 first-round pick, but I'm sure we can all agree this was hardly enough value for the starting point guard on the Bucks for the last 2 years. During this season, the Suns also just waived a young player in Derrick Jones Jr., who has become a valuable role player for the Miami Heat. So as you can see, at this point in time, I fully understand why there could be a potential free Devin Booker movement. The thing is though, since the 2018 draft where the Suns took DeAndre Ayton, they have turned their franchise around and now are a team on the rise. This was shown almost immediately as the Suns were able to trade their 16th pick in the 2018 draft and Miami's 2021 first-round pick for Mikal Bridges, a player who has already proven himself as one of the best young perimeter defenders in the league. It was these 2 picks that were certainly the beginning of the Phoenix Suns turnaround, as was the firing of general manager Ryan Donahue. He was replaced with James Jones, and almost immediately, Jones pulled off a steal of a trade as he was able to move Trevor Ariza for Kelly Oubre Jr. and Austin Rivers. Rivers is no longer on the team, but Oubre Jr. had a career season this year and averaged almost 19 points per game at the age of 24. The fact that he's not even playing for the Suns in the bubble this season due to an injury is extremely impressive, and he looks to be a very valuable young player for Phoenix for years to come. Then, in the 2019 draft, the Suns made yet another solid move as they traded traded away their number 6 pick and got back Cameron Johnson and Dario Saric. At the time, the Suns got a lot of hate for this move, but these two players have made huge contributions to the team this season and look to be solid building blocks going forward. Another vital move that Phoenix made was the signing of Ricky Rubio, who we will look into more in a second, because at this point I do want to say the Suns' biggest mistake was giving up TJ Warren for cash considerations. However, no franchise is perfect, and Phoenix has certainly took several steps in the right direction front office wise in the last few years. With that said, the team's most significant move towards success was probably the hiring of Monty Williams as their head coach. Williams has playoff experience as a head coach, and this experience has blended very well with Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, because as we previously mentioned, Devin has taken his game to another level this season. He made his first All-Star game, and the Phoenix Suns are in the playoff hunt. It is at this point though that I want to emphasize just how impressive Booker has been so far in his career as a whole. And so let's take a look at how Devin compares to Kobe Bryant when both players were at the same age. As you can see on this chart, between the ages of 19 and 23, Booker and Kobe are very close in terms of offensive stats. Going further, Devin has actually averaged a little more points per game, a little more assists per game, and has had a slightly better true shooting percentage. And to fuel this comparison even further, Devin Booker is the youngest player to ever reach 7,000 points scored in the NBA, a milestone in which the second youngest player is Kobe Bryant. And now going back to 2020, Devin Booker's performance this season has put him in a legendary group of players, because as we can see right here, Devin has become one of just 5 players ever to, in a single season, average at least 25 points per game, shoot at least 90% from the free throw line, and have a 60% true shooting percentage. Again, these numbers put him in truly elite company. Larry Bird is a Hall of Famer, and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry will be Hall of Famers. Meanwhile, as we all know, for the Boston Celtics, Isaiah Thomas was absolutely incredible before injuries led to a huge fall off from him. Now the question is, besides his work ethic, besides just natural progression here, how has Devin Booker improved so dramatically this season? Well, taking a deep dive into Booker's advanced stats, a logical answer could be the Ricky Rubio effect. Having a capable playmaker who can create easy shots for him consistently at the point guard position has had a significant positive effect on the number of shots Booker has taken that are assisted. Overall this season, Devin has increased his assisted made shots from 36% to 46%, meaning that Devin can spend less of his energy having to create his own shot, and his offensive game just comes easier. Ricky has also brought a veteran mentality to a Phoenix team that desperately needed one. He has also seen some great results on the court as well, as he is currently averaging a career high 13.2 points per game while also shooting a career high 36.1% from 3. So it is clear Rubio has had a huge effect on the Suns' success this season, as has DeAndre Ayton. As we have seen repeatedly throughout the years, having one incredible player on your team is not enough, but thankfully, DeAndre Ayton has shown some massive improvements. In terms of Ayton's raw ability, the stats show a lot here. He is just one of 7 players in NBA history to average at least 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks a game while being in just their first or second season. And taking a look at this list, you can see that every single one of the other players on this list, except for Ayton, is currently in the Basketball Hall of Fame, which means that there is evidence that shows that both Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton compare favorably to Hall of Fame level talent early in their careers. This to me is huge, as right now the Suns are firmly in the playoff race, and with just 2 more games left to play, Phoenix could end up with one of the most shocking runs to the playoffs we have ever seen. But whether the Suns make the playoffs or not this season, despite the obvious dysfunction this franchise experienced in Devin Booker's first few seasons, I think now, based on the team he has around him, Devin Booker has every reason to stay in Phoenix. Because when you look at it, the Suns do have everything a young potential superstar in Devin Booker could ask for. They already have a solid core around him. They have a veteran coach who has proven to create a winning culture. They have young talent that is only going to get better, and they have a potential second star to team up with Devin in DeAndre Ayton. This is a franchise that, with Devin Booker leading them, could become a big-time player down the road, and I cannot wait to see what happens in Phoenix. And so there we have it, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It helps out a ton. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe and turn post notifications on so you don't miss a video. If you're already subscribed, you're awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. By the way, if you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are going to love watching. All you have to do is just click on either one of them on the screen right here. And other than that, guys, again, have a great day and peace.